For us Detroit Lions fans, we are no strangers when it comes to the pessimism and also the prejudice of the NFL from times past. But now that the Lions are considered one of the best teams in the NFL, why is it that there are still certain prejudices held against the team? We're going to talk about it, so stay tuned.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5 end zone touchdown Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. My friends, when it comes to this episode here, I know that virtually every Lions fan understands exactly where I'm coming from when I say what I'm saying for this episode. As long as us Lions fans can remember, or have been able to remember, because some of my fans are a little bit on the more senior side, the NFL has always seemed to have some sort of a prejudice against the franchise, the Detroit Lions. And if we realistically want to think about it, not only has that prejudice gone to just the team itself, it has extended itself to also those that are associated with us, aka us the fans. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily from the perspective of the NFL, but let's think about it. Other NFL fans, other people that work with, kind of like in congruence with the NFL. I'm talking about like the senior TV analysts. There have been times in times past where freaking you get on television and they would be unmerciful to the Lions. Just absolutely be killing them on freaking national television and just having no qualms about it as far as just the verbal, just the verbal nonsense they would just keep, uttering. Now, to say that without, putting it into perspective, yeah, we were a bad team for a number of years. But here's the thing, though. The Lions in the past, we've definitely been disrespected in rankings, whether it's in terms of player rankings, power rankings, whatever. We've also been, overlooked in the ability to have conversations about said players that we've had. We've also been overlooked in having, whether or not we might have a good team or not from time to time. And then, obviously, there's always the problem of in the past where the NFL, from a perspective of, when we're going to talk about them, when we're going to actually, give them chances to kind of expand themselves, the NFL has always seemed to give the Lions in the past much less than what they have earned at said time of that conversation. So yeah, us Lions fans are used to this kind of situation. We're used to our team kind of getting disrespected, prejudiced against, because that's been the standard MO now for, going on about 20 plus years up until the Dan Campbell era. Which, when Dan Campbell came to us, that was when things almost virtually instantly changed. Because when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell came into picture, everything began to drastically change for the Lions in terms of the team's success and in terms of the perception that was being held about them around the NFL. I mean, for crying out loud, the Lions quite literally went from being the lovable losers and all that nonsense to now it's like, oh yeah, it's the freaking kneecap-biting Detroit Lions, it's all this nonsense. It's like, dude, our perception, our ability around the NFL to have a certain kind of way about ourselves, it's completely changed. And you have to think about how that's happened. The Lions have been on Hard Knocks, something that we had never been before prior to Dan Campbell being in town. And when that happened, dude, I still think about it to this day. I think our Hard Knocks was probably one of the most popular, one of the most highly received with acclaim and fanfare that the freaking show has ever had. I mean, yeah, of course, there's been other teams that have been on there, but it's like, dude, when the Detroit Lions got on there and Dan Campbell and all those players, like, there was a lot of buzz around that particular one. And then on top of that, what happens? Oh, that's right. Last year, we host the NFL draft in Detroit, break attendance records, literally not even trying, Like, I think our attendance record was like, 150 to 200,000 more than what was the previous record? And that was after the Detroit Lions had just been to the NFC Conference Championship game in freaking San Francisco only a few months prior to that. So it's like, okay, over the last, year and a half, the Lions have definitely been enjoying a lot of, support, and also, again, kind of getting some love from the NFL, not only in terms of opportunities to express our brand, but also in that, okay, everybody's looking at the Lions in a completely different light. So when you turn into the 2023 season, it's like, hey, we're having the best start to our freaking season that the Lions have had since 2011. Because in 2011, we started 5-0. But at the same time, this is the first time we've been 6-1 since 1956. So, okay, the Lions are doing really damn good, especially over the last year and a half. So, here's where I'm starting this part. You would think that with the Lions doing all these things, the Lions would get some pretty damn nice favor from the NFL, and they have. But I'm just going to also highlight this when we get to it. The Lions also have not gotten favor in one particular area. What is that? Well, let's keep this into perspective first before we answer that. The Lions have gotten primetime games because, that's right, we've had 11 primetime games scheduled between last year and this year, either played or about to play. We had the draft. We were on Hard Knocks. So the Lions have definitely gotten a lot of exposure to the national media. And the Lions have become exciting to watch. They're fun. They're popular. So, yeah, naturally, the NFL is going to want to exploit that for profit. They're going to be like, hey, we see a potential to make money here. So naturally, we're going to want to put you on television because people want to. They want to see you. They want to, get to know you better. Which for the NFL, it's all about the moolah. Well, think about this, folks. The NFL has no problem making money off of franchises. That's part of their business. But here's where, for the Detroit Lions, to me, the prejudice against them has been long-standing. It's when it comes to recognition. And when I'm talking about recognition, I'm talking about awards. Let's just think about this, folks. I don't know of too many instances over the Lions franchise where they have won awards, like national recognition awards from the NFL itself. Now, I'm not talking about team awards. Think about this, folks. Ever since the Lions became the Detroit Lions back in 1934, and they actually started handing out these season awards, the Lions, over the course of their damn near 100-year history, have only won 10 such awards. They have 1 MVP, they have 4 Rookie of the Year awards, 1 Comeback Player of the Year awards, 2 Offensive Player of the Year awards, and 2 Coach of the Year awards. That's all the Lions have as far as national recognized awards from the NFL. And you want to know the most recent award we have? It's the Comeback Player of the Year award that Stafford won in 2011. Every other single award that the Lions have gotten pretty much is from the 1990s on backwards. That's not very good. That means that when it comes to awards and recognition and all that nonsense, the Lions do not get any. We haven't had somebody from our team, our organization, win anything in freaking going on almost, 14 years. That's kind of ridiculous. Which brings me into the point of this conversation. Why then, when we're hearing all these great things about Jared Goff being an MVP candidate, he's not actually getting the consideration of being the front runner that he should be? I already talked about this in a previous episode with Jared Goff being the front runner. He is the front runner. To me, it's like, listen, there should be no conversation or debate about this. But yet, when you take a look at the NFL betting odds, when you take a look at the AP writers and all this other stuff, Jared Goff is maybe considered the third best option for the MVP award. And it's like, how in the hell is this even remotely possible? So let's just call it for what it is. The fact that Jared Goff is not considered the number one candidate for the MVP award is absolutely unacceptable. It's downright a travesty because, again, the NFL and the AP writers that, put this whole stuff together as far as the awards and all this other stuff, the recognition for certain players, which then become, these kind of like brand figures for the NFL, again, they are not giving the Lions nearly enough credit that they should be getting. Because let's think about it. Who are the two other dudes that are being considered of a much more high probability to win the MVP award? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Those are the two guys. And I'm going to say this. These guys are phenomenal players. They're both having great seasons. But I'm sorry, they are much less deserving of the award than Jared Goff is. It's not even close. I mean, the fact that you have Jared Goff being behind these two is absolutely laughable when you have this conversation. And again, I know I'm a Lions fan, so people are going to think I'm biased as hell. And I'm also a Goff fan, so that even makes it doubly so. But let's just keep this in perspective, folks. Not only is Jared Goff considered behind those two in terms of the MVP awards, but there's also another guy in the MVP conversation that I don't know how in the freaking hell on God's green earth he even should be in the conversation. Patrick Mahomes. So it's like, wait a minute here. You've got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson in the conversation for MVP award. Two of those guys are in front of Jared Goff, and one guy is literally playing some of the worst football of his career, but yet he's still being considered for MVP. I mean, are you kidding me? Let's just take a look at the evidence here. Again, you all know I love to do this, and I love having evidence that backs up my claims. Let's take a look at all three of these quarterbacks, because again, the MVP award has pretty much become a quarterback award now. That's just the way it is. Let's take a look at all three of these guys. Let's first and foremost take a look at the probable number one guy that everybody keeps talking about to get the MVP award again, for the third time. Lamar Jackson. When we take a look at Lamar Jackson's numbers for this year as a passer, Lamar Jackson is ranked 15th in passing completion. He's ranked 5th in passing yards. He's ranked 2nd in passing average, 2nd in passing touchdowns, and he's ranked number 1 in passer rating. Okay, Lamar Jackson has some pretty damn good numbers. He has done very well, like I said. Okay, that's Lamar. What about Josh Allen? Take a look at Josh Allen. His pass completion percentage is ranked 22nd. His yards that he's gained through the air, ranked 11th. His passing average, ranked 7th. His touchdowns, tied 5th. And his passer rating is ranked 3rd. So, okay. Again, very solid numbers. Very good numbers. So, definitely nothing wrong there with considering him for MVP. Okay. That was Lamar Jackson. That was Josh Allen. What about good old Patrick Mahomes? Who, again, I can't understand how the hell this guy is being considered for MVP this year. It's unfathomable. Take a look at his numbers. He's ranked 8th in passing completion percentage. He's ranked 16th in passing yards. He's ranked 15th in passing average. But he's tied 16th in passing touchdowns and ranked 23rd in passer rating. And mind you, again, he has more passing interceptions than touchdowns in a league where it is supposed to be the exact opposite times 2 bare minimum. Okay, so that's Patrick Mahomes, the guy that everybody and their brother virtually in the NFL considers to be the best quarterback in the NFL. Okay. What is Jared Goff doing in comparison to all of these guys? Jared Goff is number 1 in pass completion percentage by a wide margin. Jared Goff is ranked 14th in terms of passing yards. He's ranked number 1 in passing average per throw. He's ranked 8th in passing touchdowns. And he's ranked 2nd in passer rating. Okay. So Jared Goff definitely has got better stats than Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes does not even come into this conversation. So, okay. Since Goff has better stats than Josh Allen, it's then between Goff and Lamar. Well, again, I just like to kind of cover all my bases here. I decided to say, okay, there's 5 categories there which are ranked. If you add all of them up and divide by 5, what does the actual number come out to be? Well, for both Goff and Lamar, it's pretty much 5. Okay, then, so what you're telling me then is, on average, when you take a look at everything and the weight of everything for rankings, these two gentlemen, as far as passers are concerned, are playing on a very equal statistical level. Okay. So, at least on that front, Jared Goff should definitely, in my opinion, be the front runner. Because Jared Goff not only is playing at a level similar to Lamar Jackson, a former two-time MVP candidate, but in some areas, he's outperforming him. But I know that there are going to be some Lamar fans and definite Baltimore Ravens fans who may come across this video. They're going to say, well, David, Lamar Jackson's more than, just a passer. He can run the ball. Okay, I understand that. Yes, Lamar Jackson does have 81 attempts for 501 yards, and he does have 2 rushing touchdowns on 6.2 an average a rush. I understand that. He is both a dual threat through the ground and also through the air. But again, here comes my problem with this whole situation. You have to think about this in the perspective of, okay, here. When you are trying to talk about the MVP award, is that while Lamar Jackson definitely is a dual threat player, there's no doubt on that one, the MVP award literally has the definition of the award right in the name. Most valuable player. Okay. Jared Goff has definitely proven his value to the Detroit Lions, just like Josh Allen and Lamar have. Okay, so that one doesn't really matter. But let's think about this. Which player between Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff has been a better player this year, a better MVP candidate in terms of precision, consistency, and everything else? That's Jared Goff by a long shot. Let's think about this, folks. When you compare Lamar Jackson's stats and Jared Goff's stats in the same breath, and I'm going to put them up on the screen together, you literally get a very interesting picture, especially over the last 4 games. Because again, we're now getting into this period where we're in the midseason, so these quarterbacks are supposed to be in midseason form. Well, when you take a look at Jared Goff's stats that I just had up on the screen for the last 4 games, Jared Goff's stats absolutely just destroy Lamar Jackson's over the last month. That right there shows the consistency factor. When you're able to play like this for over a month, you're showing consistency. But then you have to think about it this way. Jared Goff also is being more precise and better with his ability to play. Jared Goff's freaking passer rating is literally almost 25, no, not almost 25 points. It is. It's 25 plus points higher than Lamar Jackson's over the last month. And his his pass completion percentage is freaking through the damn roof. There's no comparison if you want to talk about consistency and precision for Jared Goff versus freaking Lamar Jackson. It's not even close. And furthermore, you have to think about this. Jared Goff has executed the Lions' offense to such a precision that literally over the last 5 games, pretty much in the same time span we're talking about here, the Lions have scored more touchdowns, not points, touchdowns, than they've had actual incompletions. They've had 25 touchdowns to just 20 incompletions over 5 games. Dude, how is that even possible? You want to talk about freaking, touchdown to interception ratio? With Goff, you might as well go to a touchdown to incompletion ratio. Like, how? It's freaking mind-blowing. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to that comparison, Jared Goff absolutely destroys Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson, you can be as much of a dual threat as you want. But I'm sorry, you're not that good of a dual threat to outdo this kind of performance. It's just not good enough. Because let's put it into further perspective here. I'm just going to say this right now. Not only has Jared Goff been precise like a damn surgeon with a freaking laser scalpel, but Jared Goff has literally had the distinct advantage this year of doing things that either one, no quarterback has done ever in NFL history, or that very, very, very few others have. Let's think about this here. What did Jared Goff just do against the freaking Seattle Seahawks a couple of weeks ago on Sunday Night Football? Oh, that's right. We literally saw Jared Goff complete 18 of 18 passes for almost 300 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, plus a receiving touchdown for 155.8 passer rating. I'm sorry, folks. No quarterback in NFL history is ever going to do this. None. For a quarterback to complete 18 passes in a row, not missing a single one or having one dropped, and almost throwing 300 yards, there's nobody that's going to do this ever again. It's a record that's never going to be broken. I can guarantee it. And then if that weren't bad enough for Jared Goff, as far as that being a good piece of evidence, let's see, what are the other things that Jared Goff has done this year? I'm just going to put the Twitter posts up so that way you guys can just go back down memory lane here. Jared Goff is one of only 2 QBs to have 150 plus passer rating in, 2 straight games. The only other quarterback to do it besides him is Drew Brees. Jared Goff is only one of 4 quarterbacks to post a 140 plus passer rating in 3 straight games. Okay. Jared Goff is also one of 2 quarterbacks to throw 10 plus touchdowns, complete 74% of his passes or more, and have a passer rating of 115 plus through the first 7 games of the season. Only one of 2. You want to know who the other guy is? If I recall correctly, I think it's Tom Brady. It could also be Drew Brees again. I can't remember, but I know it's one of those 2 guys. And then Jared Goff is also the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 2 plus touchdowns, complete 72% of his passes, and have a passer rating of 110 plus for 5 straight games. I mean, dude, 18 of 18 in one game. Literally, between all of those quarterbacks, Jared Goff is one of less than 5 or one of less than 2. I mean, you're talking about a guy that is in such, I mean this quite literally, such Hall of Fame freaking level caliber company. Jared Goff is playing on a level that guys that are in the Hall of Fame are playing on. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Roger Staubach, Drew Brees. If these guys aren't in the Hall of Fame, such as is the case with Drew Brees and, freaking Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be. Like, there's no doubt about that. I also think Tom Brady's not in yet. But either way, all of these guys I've talked about are either in or going to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't seem to recall Lamar Jackson breaking any of these records or tying any of these records. Oh, sure, Lamar Jackson's had a damn good year as a passer, but not this damn good. It's just, dude, it's on a completely different level. It's not even close. So wait a minute. To kind of wrap this all up, if that's the case then, if Jared Goff is playing at such a high level, and he's doing all these things with records that are either not going to be broken, or records that are so freaking rare to achieve that there's less people that have achieved them that are on fingers of my hand, then why in the thunder then is Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen technically in front of him when it comes to the betting odds and AP writers for the MVP award? It comes down to a very simple thing. Jared Goff's just not exciting. He's not exciting, flashy like freaking Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen is. Think about it, folks. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are some of the most exciting guys to watch because these are guys that quite literally people want to watch them play just to watch them play. They make risks all the damn time, whether it's running, whether it's throwing balls into tight areas. They are fun to watch, which makes them something that, hey, the NFL, again, being all about money, they want to promote these guys. Think about this, folks. What about Jared Goff is exactly exciting? Not really much of anything. Jared Goff is the exact opposite of exciting. Jared Goff is methodical. He's cautious. He's precise. That's not exciting because after a while, it becomes one simple word, monotonous. You just get so used to it, you kind of get lulled to sleep by it. That's for the NFL? Okay, great. You know what? You're doing well, but it's not exactly going to do anything for our ratings, which means it's not going to do anything for our ability to make money. So again, it's all about the money and it's all about the popularity contest. That's why for me, a lot of the times when it comes to these NFL awards, it's a freaking sham. Most of the awards don't go to the actual players that should deserve them. And in this case, it's the same damn thing. Jared Goff has proven through literally, I would say, almost the first half of the year that he's been the MVP, no doubt. Again, you find me another quarterback, you find me another player that's playing better at their position than Jared Goff, then you can have this conversation. But you can't. You simply cannot find anybody that's playing the position of quarterback better than Goff has. I don't give a damn about freaking the ability to scramble. I don't give a damn about the ability to look flashy. It's about the wins. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but Jared Goff has got a better record than both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. But wait a minute. If the status of a quarterback is about their ability to win here, let me just put this to you this way. How is Jared Goff in terms of his ability to win when it matters versus Lamar and Josh Allen? Oh, that's right. Jared Goff is actually tied with Lamar Jackson for the most wins since last year with 18. Guess who's right behind those two? Oh, Josh Allen with 17. And then let's think about it from this perspective. When it comes to postseason wins, who's got the best postseason record since last year? That would be Goff with 2-1, because Lamar and Josh Allen both have a 1-1 record. Oh, wait a minute here. Let's go even further down this little rabbit hole. What is Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen's NFC Conference Championship game records? 0-1 for both. That means they've only been to those games one time. Whereas Jared Goff is 1-1, meaning, oh, wait for it, Goff has been to a Super Bowl, whereas Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have not. So when it comes to the categories of Goff's ability to produce numbers and be precise and consistent, he wins. When it comes to Jared Goff's ability to be a consistent winner, not only in the regular season but in the postseason, he wins. So if Goff wins on both fronts, then why is he not the MVP frontrunner? Why is he not the guy that should be number one in this conversation? Because again, the NFL is all about promoting its brand, and they want their brand to be fun and exciting. And that's why guys like Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, I had those backwards, they get those deals from the NFL. And they get that promotion from the NFL because they're more fun and exciting to watch. Even though Jared Goff is playing much better than both. Say what you will, but it's the truth. Having said that, I'm going to end this episode and say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode. Also encourage y'all to subscribe to the channel, and please make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content I push out. Also encourage y'all to share the content with your Lions friends and family members. Share here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it anywhere you possibly can. Also on Facebook, so that way we can make sure that this channel gets the widest range possible for spread and also growth. And I hope that everybody has had a great time viewing the episode, whether you're a long-time viewer or this is your first time viewing me. I hope you all got something out of it. I hope you guys also have got something in your life that makes you happy and makes you smile. God bless, my friends. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.